The housing collapse of 2025 is no longer something people debate in theory. It is happening right now. In several cities, foreclosure activity is already climbing to levels that mirror the darkest moments of 2008. But this crisis goes far beyond declining home prices. What we are witnessing is the slow breakdown of local economies, unfolding in real time. What makes it even more unsettling is that many still insist this is nothing more than a short-term downturn that will quickly reverse. Today on State Stories, we are taking you inside 10 cities where home values are not drifting downward. They are collapsing, sometimes by 50% or more. We will show you exactly where the housing bubble finally popped, where homeowners are now trapped, and why, for countless families, the American dream has quietly been taken back. Stay with us, subscribe to our channel, and hit that like button, because what you are about to see could save you from a costly financial mistake. Let's begin our countdown. 10. Cape Coral, Florida. At first glance, Cape Coral looks like the picture-perfect Florida lifestyle. Miles of canals, warm sunshine, waterfront homes, and no state income tax create the impression of an ideal place to settle down. But the moment you look at the data, that image begins to crack. In under 2 years, the median home price has dropped from about $465,000 to roughly $260,000, a decline exceeding 40%, and prices are still sliding. The real shock comes when insurance enters the picture. Homeowners are not just seeing premiums rise, many are being dropped entirely. Florida's insurance system is under extreme pressure, and Cape Coral residents are paying the price. Annual homeowners insurance quotes of $8,000 to $10,000 are now common on homes valued around $300,000. One local couple saw their insurance costs double, while their home's appraised value fell more than $100,000 below their purchase price. What was once marketed as affordable coastal living has become a financial trap, where fixed costs keep rising even as property values sink. Hurricane Ian tore through Lee County and left lasting damage. Construction costs soared, some contractors abandoned unfinished projects, and government assistance moved slowly. Meanwhile, HOA fees continued, and special assessments arrived just as many households were already stretched thin. Homes now sit on the market for 6 months or longer. Price cuts are no longer minor adjustments, they are steep, desperate reductions aimed at attracting any serious buyer. One waterfront home that originally listed near $899,000 ultimately sold in the low $400,000 after months without interest. Even the rental market offers little relief. While rents have softened slightly, they remain high enough to strain household budgets. Cape Coral has become a case study in how insurance costs, repair expenses, and uncertainty can weigh on every financial decision. Number 9. Boise, Idaho. Boise was once celebrated as a quiet success story, an affordable city offering space, scenery, and stability. Then national attention arrived. Between 2020 and 2022, home prices jumped more than 70% as buyers from expensive coastal states rushed in. By mid-2025, that surge had collapsed, with prices falling nearly 50% from the peak. Median values dropped from the mid-500,000s to the high $200,000 in many neighborhoods. The problem was simple. Prices climbed far beyond what local incomes could support. Remote workers with high salaries temporarily boosted demand, but many of those jobs were never anchored to the local economy. When companies pulled back and remote work policies tightened, many high earners left. What remained were home prices built on temporary demand and wages aligned with Boise's historical norms. Developers had expanded rapidly, filling the outskirts with new subdivisions designed for growth that never fully materialized. Some homes have already gone through foreclosure. Others are selling at steep losses, with reports of owners losing 6 figures on speculative purchases intended as quick flips. Rents are declining as vacancies rise, but not enough to offset higher interest rates and operating expenses. Wildfire risk and shifting climate patterns are also having insurance premiums higher, adding yet another fixed cost. Meanwhile, longtime residents who endured the boom now watch as portions of that construction sit underused. If you moved to Boise expecting a safe haven and found something else entirely, tell us your story. This city illustrates how quickly a so-called hidden gem can unravel when investment surges faster than sustainable job growth. Number 8. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas is no stranger to risk, but the latest gamble happened outside the casinos. During the boom, median home prices climbed toward $475,000 as investors, second home buyers, and new residents competed for limited supply. By 2025, that median had dropped into the high $200, a decline approaching 60% in some areas, with analysts warning the market may still not have reached bottom. Short-term rentals multiplied rapidly during the post-pandemic surge. Investors expected consistent tourism and steady nightly income. But as travel patterns shifted and competition increased, occupancy fell. Many owners discovered their rental income no longer covered mortgages, taxes, and maintenance. Water scarcity, record heat, rising insurance premiums, and higher utility bills have added pressure. On the outskirts of the metro, partially completed developments line quiet streets, signaling plans that no longer align with demand. Hospitality workers, central to the local economy, have seen wages lag behind housing costs, leaving many households financially exposed. Some buyers now owe more on their homes than they are worth. Las Vegas may be known for reinvention, but this housing reset demands hard calculations. If you have experience with real estate cycles here, share your perspective below. Number 7. San Francisco, California. San Francisco once symbolized unstoppable tech-driven wealth. A meaningful price decline seems impossible until it happens. From a peak median near $1.6 million, prices have dropped below $900,000 in many areas, representing declines of more than 50% in some segments. Remote work hollowed out downtown offices, commercial vacancies rose, foot traffic declined, and nearby residential neighborhoods felt the impact. Buyers no longer place the same premium on proximity to corporate headquarters. HOA fees, property taxes, and insurance costs remain high, even as home values fall. Some buildings face four-figure monthly HOA dues, while still requiring major upgrades, like seismic retrofits and aging infrastructure repairs. Wildfire risk has further reshaped the insurance market, with fewer options and higher premiums. Concerns about safety, homelessness, and retail closures have also weighed on buyer confidence. San Francisco's story is no longer about limitless growth. It's about the collision of speculation, affordability, and real-world limits. Number 6. Austin, Texas. When you arrive in Austin, you expect tech offices, live music, and stories of endless growth. For years, that narrative seemed bulletproof. During the pandemic boom, home prices surged more than 90% as companies expanded and remote workers poured in. But the momentum didn't last. By mid-2025, the median home price had fallen from roughly $575,000 to just under $385,000. About a one-third decline, with further weakness still expected. The causes are clear. Major employers have cut staff, well-known tech companies slowed hiring or announced layoffs. High-rise apartment towers that once symbolized prosperity are now struggling with high vacancy rates and offering aggressive incentives. Condo owners who bought at peak prices are finding that buyers are no longer willing to pay what they expected. Mortgage rates above 7% have dampened enthusiasm for costly urban homes. Buyers are increasingly reluctant to spend close to $1 million for small lots, limited outdoor space, and modern interiors that already feel outdated. Listings that once sparked bidding wars now linger for 4 to 6 months. A new construction home in East Austin that debuted near $799,000 is now listed closer to $499,000 and still hasn't sold. HOA fees remain expensive even as amenities go unused. Some buildings have added technology fees or special charges just to balance budgets, while units sit empty. Extreme heat, recurring power grid concerns, rising insurance premiums, higher utility costs, and water constraints are adding layers of risk. Migration into Austin has slowed and, in some cases, reversed, with residents quietly relocating to more affordable areas. If you or someone you know bought in Austin at the peak, share how the numbers look today. A city once hailed as the next great tech hub is now confronting the consequences of growth expectations that outpaced economic reality. Number 5. Phoenix, Arizona. In Phoenix, the heat extends beyond the weather. It's in the housing data. At the peak, median home prices climbed into the low $600,000. Since then, values have fallen close to 50%, bringing prices back toward the low $300,000. For those who bought at the top, the difference is the line between equity and being trapped. Investors poured in, remote workers arrived, and builders launched massive subdivisions. But as interest rates climbed, demand slowed sharply. Listings now sit for 5 months or longer, and sellers increasingly offer concessions like closing cost credits and rate buydowns just to secure a contract. Triple-digit temperatures drive high energy usage, pushing utility costs upward. Power rates have increased, and long-term water supply from the Colorado River remains under scrutiny. Insurance policies have become more expensive and restrictive, with higher deductibles and exclusions. Phoenix was promoted as an affordable alternative to coastal markets, but affordability depends on more than purchase price. Rising utilities, insurance, and realistic job stability all matter. Many potential buyers are now pausing and reconsidering their plans. Number 4. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Myrtle Beach appears to be a classic coastal destination, but the pandemic-era investment surge changed everything. Since 2023, home prices in many segments have fallen more than 45%. Investors flooded the market with similar short-term rentals, HOA fees climbed, insurance premiums rose, and cash flow narrowed. Some associations charge hundreds per month, despite aging infrastructure. New developments continue, even as existing units struggle to stay occupied. Service workers often live far inland, commuting into an area where many properties sit dark in the off-season. Myrtle Beach serves as a reminder that coastal investments carry risks beyond glossy brochures. Number 3. Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City was once viewed as a balanced alternative to California. Prices surged 75% between 2020 and 2022, then fell more than 40%. Listings now linger, sellers offer concessions, and rental incentives cut into returns. Wildfire and earthquake risks are increasingly discussed, and HOA enforcement has intensified. The city's rapid swing from hidden value to correction has forced a reevaluation of growth and infrastructure needs. Number 2. Naples, Florida. Naples long symbolized luxury Florida living. Prices peaked around $1.1 million and have since fallen sharply, often by half. Hurricane damage, soaring insurance premiums, strict HOA rules, and special assessments have transformed ownership costs. Some owners now reconsider retirement plans or inheritance goals. Behind manicured landscapes, more listings quietly appear. Number 1. Palm Springs, California. Palm Springs became a pandemic-era icon. Median prices neared $1.2 million in 2022, then fell into the high $500,000 by 2025. Short-term rental restrictions, rising insurance, higher energy costs, water limits, and wildfire risk have reshaped the economics of ownership. What once looked like dependable wealth now carries regulatory and environmental uncertainty. If you live here or have thought about buying, share your experience in the comments. What's happening in this part of Florida is a warning sign for coastal markets nationwide. From Cape Coral and Boise to Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Francisco, Naples, and Palm Springs, the pattern is unmistakable. The 2025 housing downturn is not a mild correction. It is a full-scale reset. If you're buying, you must look beyond price charts to insurance, climate risk, employment stability, and affordability. If you already own, you're living this reality. If this analysis helped you see beyond the headlines, like the video, share it with someone planning a move, and subscribe to State Stories. Let us know which city surprised you most and what market you want us to investigate next. Thanks for watching and making informed decisions out there.